Hey guys, what's up? My name's Alex. Welcome to my channel. I am going to talk about my March wrap up, the books that I've bought in March, and then my April TBR. We're going to talk about a bunch of bookish things, and I am so excited. So let's just get into it. So these are all the books that I read in March. This is actually a lot of books for me. I don't usually read. So anyway, so these are a lot of books that I read in March. I read 13 total books, and I usually read, like I said, around 8 to 10. So this is a good amount. I mean, that's like that's a good amount. And as you can see, I started my Throne of Glass reread, and to tell you that I am loving it is an absolute understatement. Like I am just so giddy even. Right now I'm currently reading The Queen of Shadows. And girl, oh my gosh. So I guess we'll just start with those. These are not in order of when I read them. I couldn't put the work in to try and do that. But so these are the ones that I got through in March. I read The Assassin's Blade. I read this first because that's the way that I did it when I first read the series. Then I read Throne of Glass. Then I read Crown of Midnight. And just finished Air Fire and started The Queen of Shadows. So loving those. That's what, 4? I read those 4 in March. Then I read Anxious People by Frederick Bachman. This is my first Frederick Bachman book, and I loved it. I completely sobbed at the end. You'll see that trend throughout this stack of books, is that I just sobbed my eyes out for all of them for some reason. I couldn't tell you why, but they were just amazing books. So this one, it took me a little while to get into, I will say, but like the second half of this book was just absolutely phenomenal. Just like seeing how he brought all the characters and all the storylines kind of just like come together at the end. There are a lot of like triggering points in here for certain situations. So if that's something that you are mindful of, maybe check the trigger warnings before going into this. It's nothing crazy, but just personally, it's something that I would like to know of certain things that go on in this book, or certain mindsets and stuff that happen in this book, or something that like I wish I was a little bit more aware of going into it, so I can make sure I'm in the right, headspace for that. But definitely an amazing book. 100% an author that I will be picking up more of from him. I've got a couple books in my Amazon cart right now from him. The the next one is another tearjerker. Oh my gosh. This one was kind of fun because this is a book that I picked up at Barnes & Noble. Literally have never heard of it in my life. I had no idea, what it was about, but I read the back of it and I immediately knew by like the second sentence that this is something that was going to make me sob like a baby. And it absolutely did. I just remember waking up early to finish this book one morning, and my husband walked out of the room after waking up, and I was just like sobbing on the couch, just like, what's going on? And, oh my gosh, it was just an amazing, amazing book. And like, I'll start crying just thinking about it. And if you love just like the elderly, if you love hearing old stories and old wisdom and sweet old people, like, please read this book. It will make you sob. It's so short too. It's like 240 pages or something. Super easy to get through, super funny. And yes, so there's also 2 more that I went immediately to the store and bought because I will be binging those soon. Next book that I read was The Bluest Eye. I think I just had like a pretty serious book month. This is not an easy read, and I actually thrifted this book. Maybe a huge crow just like flew by the window. It's also like a really eerie day in Austin right now. Like it's raining, it's misty, it's like super eerie. Anyways, so I read The Bluest Eye. I thrifted this book. It was when I moved here in Austin last summer, I think. And I picked it up because the synopsis and the first page really drew me in. Also check trigger warnings, something that is probably an important, very thoughtful read, a thought-provoking read, one that is not something just to pick up on a whim. I'll say that. But it was good. We're going to move to a fun one. Okay, so, well, that's actually not a fun one. We'll talk about it anyways. Okay. I read The Scattered Bones. This one, I saw the Raven Haired Reader read. She said she doesn't know why more people aren't talking about it. So say less because I trust her romantasy recommendations. I loved it. It was, I mean, I wouldn't say it was like a fun read because it's really sad, but it was really unique. It has like gods and mortals, kind of like a quest, love. The love was just like super swoony. And I mean, this was an easy buy because this cover is just stunning. So I read that, loved it. Also, it was short. Here's another short book that I read that I absolutely adored. It's called It Lasts Forever and Then It's Over. Can you even see? It Lasts Forever and Then It's Over. This is a Fitzcarraldo edition, and I was introduced to these editions by another YouTuber. I think her name is Leah. She always raves about these books. I love this book. It was so bizarre. It was not at all what I was expecting. It had some weird, like, zombie vibes, which is not usually what I'll go for, but the end and the premise of this book was phenomenal and made me really think. And so what I ended up doing was going and buying 3 more Fitzcarraldo editions and just got those in the mail. So I love that one. Okay, so this is a fun one. I read Nora Goes Off Script. As you can tell, this is a very springy read, also a pretty short book. Love this book. It was fun, fluffy, romance, like so sweet. She has her own little like library cottage in her backyard, like say less. The next one I read was Our Infinite Fates. This was okay. I think that it was just a little bit too overhyped for me. My expectations were like way too high, and it is beautiful. I actually bought this on a road trip to. We just got back from a road trip. We flew into LAX and drove up the Pacific Coast Highway up to San Francisco. And I bought this in San Francisco, and so it was kind of fun. I read this book on that road trip. But I don't know. I just like it was good, but I just couldn't really connect with the characters, and I could tell that like I'm supposed to be feeling so much and like feeling the yearning and like yearning with them, and I just wasn't. And I think that's unfortunate because it's a stunning book. But this isn't one that like I'm gonna keep forever, you know, like I'm probably going to end up donating or selling this one. But it was still good. I would recommend it for sure. I think I am just like out of my YA era, you know, like I think I've just kind of grown out of that a little bit. Not in a bad way, but I just think that it takes a really special YA to really draw me in. There's 2 more that I read. I read Metal Slinger. This one was super anticipated for me. I obviously have heard this talked about literally everywhere. Everybody freaks out over the ending, and of course I had to read it because of that. And it was good. It was unique. It was not what I was expecting. The ending was something that I wasn't expecting, but I think I ruined it or got ruined a little bit for me because people raved about it so much and said the ending is crazy and super off the wall, but like it really wasn't that crazy or off the wall. Like it was a good ending, and it definitely threw me for a loop a little bit, but I wouldn't say it was ridiculous, you know. But it was still good. And I'm not sure if I'm going to read the next book or not, if that says anything. But it was good. Last book. I read Isola. This was also a fun little Barnes & Noble pickup that I had no idea what it was about, but it like just looked really cool. Like, look at this lady here on the cliff. Like that right there drew me in. And then it was a Reese's Book Club pick. And then the synopsis was really cool. It just basically talks about a woman who's stranded on an island. She's caught in a relationship with like a forbidden lover, and she has to survive on this island with just her and nature and all of those things. And the cover just, I mean, I really don't need to know any more than that. And it was really good. I really enjoyed this. So, those are all the books that I read in March. I loved all of them, truly. And I feel like I had such an amazing reading month in March. And I'm super excited to go on to April with that feeling. So, we'll talk about the books that I bought. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10. That's not bad. 10's not bad. I've done worse damage. So yeah, 10 books that I bought in March. We'll just like super quickly go through these. So The Scattered Bones, already talked about that. Our Infinite Fates, we already talked about that. Isola. I bought Foul Lady Fortune. I've been looking for the hardback of this for a while and finally found it at Half Price Books. I bought Madeline is Sleeping. It's probably not going to focus, but this one just looked really cute. Got this at Book People. Here are the 3 other Fitzcarraldo editions that I talked about. I also got this at the same bookshop. It's a UK bookshop, and this cover one is super pretty, and the premise of this book also sounded really good. And then I bought this, Into the Heartless Woods. This was a bookseller recommendation actually while we were in San Francisco. We stopped into a Barnes because I needed a book to read, and I was looking at it, and the bookseller came over. She's like, "Oh my god, I love that book!" Like it was just one that I randomly picked up from a bookstore, and I ended up loving it. It was like my favorite book of the whole year. So like, say less. It was also $12, which at Barnes and Noble, even for a paperback, $12 is like really good. So I bought that. So those are the books that I bought in March. So now we can get into the fun stuff and we can pick our April TBR. So the way that I'm going to pick my April TBR is with a couple little jars. I am going to pick one book out of this jar, which is just a bunch of books that have been on my TBR the longest, like at least over a year, if not longer, that I just have been putting off for whatever reason. I'll pick at least one from here. I'm going to pick one book from my 25 books to read in 2025 list, which is on my phone. And then I'm going to pick 5 from here. These are just a bunch of prompts that I made. They're like super open-ended prompts. They're supposed to be really nice to me while I pick my books because I am a mood reader. And so I don't want to feel like I am forced to read anything because then I'm just not going to like it. That's just the way that it goes. So 5 from here, 1 from here, and then 1 from my 25 to read in 2025 list. So we'll start out with this one. This is going to be like, they're like stuffed in here. This is going to be like the one that really determines it all. I can barely get my hand in here. Should I close my eyeballs? No. Oh, well, here we go. Oh my gosh. I'm actually really nervous. I'm not going to look at it. You can read it first. What does it say? Are you kidding? Oh, I'm excited about this one. Okay. This is a book that has been on my TBR. It says Clockwork Angel. I have legit had this on my TBR since I got back into reading like over 2 years ago. And I thrifted the entire series in it was like 2 hardbacks and 1 paperback in my like super small town in like rural North Carolina at the Goodwill. They had the best book selection ever. And I found this book and let me just go get it. Here she is, Clockwork Angel. I am so stoked. I have been trying or wanting to get into this for a long time. I grew up reading Cassandra Clare. I read her whole Mortal Instruments series when I was in like young, like in high school or something, and loved it. It was like my first romantasy experience outside of like Twilight. Wow, my little millennial heart. So I am excited about this. I did try to read Lady of Midnight last year, and I actually really did not like that book. So that's kind of the reason why I've been putting this off a little bit because I don't want to not like it. I really want to enjoy it. So that's exciting. Okay, so Clockwork Angel, yay. We're going to do the 25 to read into 2025. I'm going to read Heavenly Bodies. I have wanted to read this book for so long, ever since I watched the Raven Haired Reader talk about it. Way back when it was, way back, but it was like last year when it was an indie published book. She just raved about it. And even before she talked about it, I had it in my Amazon cart. And at the time I was in school, I didn't really have a bunch of money to like be spending on indie books and stuff. This is the UK Waterstones edition, I think. Um, but anyways, yes, I'm going to be reading this for my 25 to read in 2025. Now we'll start with the prompts. Let's pick one. We're picking 5 total. Oh, I'm nervous. Are you kidding me? I remember putting this one in here. Can you read it? It says a book from your longest TBR jar. We just did that. So we're going to do it again, which I'm not mad about it because, like I said, I am excited about all the books that I have. I don't usually buy books that I don't think I'm going to like, you know? All right, here we go again. Closing my eyes, not looking. Oh, here we go. Oh, I'm nervous. Oh, okay, this is a good one. It's Powerless. Can you see? Powerless. This is Powerless by Elsie Silver. I'll grab it. Okay, this is a really good TBR. I started this series when I was in nursing school last year and flew through the first 2 books. They're really good, but I do feel like I kind of need a break in between them because they can kind of be a little similar, especially because they're all connected standalones. So this one I am very excited about though because it's a hockey player and my husband is actually a hockey player. He's from Newfoundland, Canada. So I am particularly excited about this one and specifically I've just been putting it off because I haven't really been in like a smutty romantasy or a smutty like contemporary romance mood, but I can be. So this one I'm excited about as well. These are not books at all that like I thought I would be reading this month. Okay, let's pick the second one. A Fitzcarraldo edition. Dang, which one do I want to read? So we have 3 here to choose from. Minor Detail, Paradise, Drive Your Plow Over the Bones of the Dead, which I think this one was like a highly recommended one. In a remote Polish village, Jania Duzheko, an eccentric woman in her 60s, recounts the events surrounding the disappearance of her 2 dogs. She is reclusive, preferring the company of animals to people. Wow, me too, girl. She's unconventional, believing in the stars, and she's fond of the poetry of William Blake, from whose work the title of the book is taken. When members of a local hunting club are found murdered, Duzheko becomes involved in the investigation. By no means a conventional crime story, this existential thriller by one of Europe's major humanist writers offers thought-provoking ideas on our perceptions of madness, injustice against the marginalized people, animal rights, and the hypocrisy of traditional religion, belief in predestination, and cause a genuine political uproar in Tokarczuk's native Poland. Well, I'm not even going to read the other 2 because I'm just going to read this one because wow, that sounds good. That sounds good. The only thing that I'm worried about with this one is that there might be like animal cruelty in this, and that is not something that I would ever want to read. So I'll keep you updated if there is that topic in here. But if not, I'm very excited about this one. This one sounds interesting. Okay, cool. Okay, this is going really well. Got it. Oh, this is going to be an easy one because I always buy books based on the cover. Just kidding. I always pick up books and read them based off the cover. Is that the same thing? Probably. A cover buy. I'm going to have to think about this one because they're like kind of all cover buys. What do I want to read? We have 2 romanticises, contemporary romance. Wow, literary fiction / thriller. We have a good variety. What's been on my mind recently? Let me think about this for a sec. I'll be back. So I'm going to read for a cover by is The Great Win by, sorry, Alan Moore. This was 100% a cover buy, and then I read the synopsis of it, and it's about like a second London or like an underground London or something like that. And I bought this when I did my little Barnes & Noble challenge with my husband for my birthday, and 100% picked it up because the cover, I mean, it's gorgeous. The colors are just like so pretty. So I'm gonna read this one in April. Also, I'm realizing that we have kind of like a bluish purple theme going on right now, which is kind of fun. Kind of like strange. How many was that? 1, 2, 3. Only 3? So I get to pick 2 more? Okay. Not looking. Oh, I've got 2. Oh, okay. This is. Wow, this is actually funny. It's a book with a blue cover. What? Okay. A blue cover? Let me just show you the stack of books right now. Excuse the mess. Look, they're all bluish purple. So I have to find a book with a blue cover. That's really funny and so weird. My husband would say, I'm living in a simulation right now. So the book that I picked for a blue cover is Cursebound. Look how pretty this book is. Yeah, so I read Feybound last year and it was okay. I did enjoy it. I enjoyed it enough to buy the second one to see if it got better or if I just got a little bit more invested in it. And it's not a long book. It's going to be like an easy, quick read. It looks like it's 300, like just at 300 pages. So I am excited about this. I just want to read it and just see if I'm going to like it or not. So we'll add this to our blue pile of books, which is just so funny. So we have one more to pick. Hopefully this is a fun one. Is that it? Oh man. Oh, okay, there's just one. All right. Okay, this is a fun one. It says, a book you haven't stopped thinking about since buying. So I have 2 different options here that are very different. I have Moonfleet by J. Mead Faulkner. I really don't know what this is about. I bought it because the cover is so cute and its synopsis sounded really fun. I think this is a young reader's book or novel. I can't remember if it's supposed to be a classic or not. So it sounds fun, sounds cute. It's short. So this one I bought and I have not stopped thinking about it. I have been wanting to read it just in between, but I just haven't gotten to it yet. And then this one, An Ember in the Ashes. I actually thrifted this and 2 other books in this series at that same rural North Carolina thrift store. And I thrifted it like over 2 years ago. And to be honest, like I'm terrified to start the series because it's kind of having a revamp. Like people are really getting into it recently and hyping it up. I just get a little weary about that because I don't know, I want to enjoy it. I know that it's good and I just don't want that to ruin it for me. And then also it's a YA. And like I said earlier, YAs can be super hit or miss for me. But my good friend actually just finished the whole series. She just like binged the whole series and she said it was great. And she has the same taste in books that I do usually. So the only thing is, do I want to start another series when I'm already starting? I guess I'm only starting 2. We're just gonna do this one. We're gonna do Ember in the Ashes because why not? Life is short, and it'll give me a excuse to go to the bookstore if I want to buy either the new copies or the one book that I don't have yet. So this is it. So now we have our TBR, and that book officially broke the blue streak, which would have been funny because this one is a little bit blue, isn't it? All right, so let's do a recount of all the books that I just picked. So here are all the books that I will be reading in April. This is only 7, so I definitely have some room to read more, mood read a little bit. I will do my best to read all of them. And then I will let you guys know at the end of April what I got to, which books I bought, and then what our next TBR is going to be for May. So thank you guys so much for being here. This was so much fun. I will 100% be doing this again. And hopefully I will see you guys back here around for the next video. I hope you guys have a wonderful week, a wonderful weekend, and a wonderful month. And I will see you guys next time.